Good night, moonlight. Wake up, sunshine. Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we are reviewing the new record, Wake Up Sunshine. This one is by All Time Low. Wake Up Sunshine is the 8th studio album from the American pop punk band. They are from Baltimore, which honestly, other than the Orioles sucking the past few seasons, I think Baltimore is an underrated city. Keep in mind, I haven't personally been there to attest that, but it seems like a cool place to visit. They got Johns Hopkins University, they got the Ravens, they got the Orioles, they must have other birds too. They must just have a weird infatuation with naming their sports teams after them. I don't really know what's going on there. But I'm not reviewing birds today, so let's get back to the topic at hand with All Time Low. So yeah, All Time Low, they are signed to the label Fueled by Ramen, which I've had my fair issues with them in the past. Not legal battles, after all, I'm not signed to a label. No, I'm just here complaining about Fueled by Ramen's love for putting out singles from albums. Too many usually. They typically put out 5, maybe even 6 songs before a release, and some of you may know I'm not a fan of that because it can spoil a record. I mean, 21 Pilots kind of went through that with Blurry Face, but I digress. All Time Low here did not have to go through that. I think they put out 3 singles. I apologize, by the way, I'm having a tough time sticking to the script, but that's for a good reason, I think. I just don't really know that much about All Time Low. I will admit that. Of course, I did know of the name as I was growing up in the 2000s, but I was far more into other pop punk bands that just got me licking my chops, like Green Day, Blink-182, Sum 41, Panic at the Disco, if you want to throw them in that category too. And I guess piling on another reason why I never got into All Time Low, I always had this belief that they sounded like a mix of those bands I just mentioned. And that kind of rings true for this record here. Influences are pretty noticeable and there's a tight association with them. And the puzzle pieces were assembling in my mind as I was researching for this review. That's when I found out that the frontman of All Time Low, Alex Gaskarth, is in a pop rock group with Mark Hoppus of Blink-182. Okay, cool. I wish I could be in on that, but I guess we'll have to stick to the Blink-182 inspired songs on this record here, Wake Up Sunshine. I'm especially digging that kind of influence on the cut Sleeping In, which was a single I didn't initially like upon its release. Here in context, though, I love the drums. They are mixed and performed exactly like they would have been on California by Blink-182. The chorus is even like this early 1975 kind of track with a bit more punch, but putting together those two influences of the 1975 and Blink-182, it's like we're having a fusion of those sounds. We're almost having a baby, if it could be possible, with Blink 1982. In all seriousness, though, Sleeping In is electric fun, especially with the clever nod to a Britney song. Preceding that track is the intro on this album, Some Kind of Disaster, and this one is quickly becoming a fan favorite, and I can see why. It's sounding like a summer anthem. I mean, I can't turn my nose up to the Billie Joe Armstrong-like vocals on here. The lyrics are a tad cliche, but still a jam I can see myself rocking out to with the windows rolled down. I'm just cruising down the street. You know, you're cruising and not like Florida Georgia Line. Keeping the strong start going on Wake Up Sunshine, we have a pair of tracks, Melancholy, Kaleidoscope, and Getaway Green. The guitar outros are the highlights on the songs for me personally. Getaway Green, easily sounding the most 2000s inspired on this album. Meanwhile, Melancholy Kaleidoscope's lyrics are on the nose with the "you can't be 100 if you're only giving 95." So yeah, this record has an incredible start. The first 4 tracks are amazing. Beyond that, we have the Black Bear feature on Monsters. This track plays like that classic pop punk lyrical journey of trying to figure out why you're constantly going back to a toxic love interest. Musically on Monsters, I like the beat and how it switches up the vibe of the record. I like the abrasive guitars, the disco drum beat, the simple yet piercing bass line. There's a nice head bobbing kind of rhythm on this track too that I can't ignore. Black Bear, I will admit, he's never impressed me in the past, but he plays a small yet satisfying role on this track. You could go without him, I guess. The quality would be the same with or without him. I'm just glad he isn't here making things worse. I also don't mind the other feature that we get on this project with the band Camino. This comes on the cut Favorite Place, a typical love song that switches up the core sonic element on this album yet again. What's weird though though, I'm getting hit with different kind of influences on this track, actually, though. On the verses, we get like this math rock brand of guitars, like that echo put on it, somewhat similar to American Football, especially on their most recent LP. Favorite Place is still a good track either way. Now, I guess why this record sounds so weird to me is because some of its most memorable parts aren't what you would typically expect from the conventional side of pop songwriting. Going deeper on this record, everything but the choruses usually hit harder for me, especially the verses and outros. A nice change of pace, actually. Sure, the bridges and choruses might sound phoned in, but the verses are some of the more interesting ones I've heard on a pop punk album in the past couple years. Again, it's an odd yet decent change to hear verses that are more memorable than the chorus sometimes. I guess the main issues on this record come into play with the middle portion and back half of its runtime. You could honestly pick and choose from the rest of this album outside of the songs I already mentioned, because it's kind of hit or miss for me, at least. And I get it, listening to samey pop punk can be monotonous. Some tracks like Pretty Venom attempt to slow the pace of the record. It's such a drag, though, after we got the adrenaline rush of Monsters. With one of the more interesting song titles, Pretty Venom, I would have expected more instead of a meandering 3-minute interlude. That's all I'm saying. In addition, Wake Up Sunshine has other small dips in quality, like on the track Trouble Is. This one's relatively lacking with its hook and lyrics compared to the first 4 tracks on the album, which is a shame because I love the irregular time signatures and the Brit-pop tinge of the vocal deliveries from Alex. Trouble Is just unfortunately has the instrumentation and faded out drums that are like cookie cutter Blink-182, even with the playing style of Travis Barker. Nothing offensive, though. That's made case in point with the song Safe. It is as safe as its title. Just another meh song on this record. Now, a stronger tune would have made that a more enjoyable listen and made up for the slight EQ issues on the transitions between verse and chorus. Wrapping up my thoughts, though, on Wake Up Sunshine, I definitely admire the front half of this album. The band is firing on all cylinders. The songwriting is above average for this genre. The lyrics are insightful and the performances are engaging. Where this record could be better is with those exact same elements towards the back half. To me, the lyrical topics become stale, and All Time Low, they tread over the same thing with less compelling ideas. Although the Seasons Part 1 and Part 2 songs, yeah, they're intriguing. And then sonically, at points of this record, I feel like I'm listening to Blink-182, but hey, this is still better than their last record. I'm feeling a strong 6 to a light 7 on Wake Up Sunshine. I definitely will return to this if I'm especially in the mood for 2000s sounding pop punk. Because yeah, pop punk fans from the 2000s will go crazy for this, as it is a strong return to form for All Time Low. At least that's what I'm hearing from other reviews. Wake Up Sunshine is also as optimistic and bright as the album artwork and title would suggest. So I'm enjoying this, at least a good majority of it. So yeah, that's my review of All Time Low's Wake Up Sunshine. Make sure you sound off down below in the comments. Let me know what you think of this music. Agree or disagree. I'm here to engage with you guys. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new in town. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a rockin' day.